everybody, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Happy first day of a new month. Happy May, a grace of month. A month of grace, a grace of month. A month of grace. 5 being the 5th month of the year, and 5 biblically means grace. Anyway, I came on here to say it's not just for you. And what I mean by that is things that we go through, tests, trials, storms, whatever it is that we're going through, they're not just for us. They're always for someone else. They're always to give a testimony of God's miraculous powers, His mercy, His grace, His miracles, His signs, and His wonders that He has done for us. They are for someone else. And I say that because, as many know, last year my mother went through cancer treatments for cancer. And I didn't understand why we were having to go through this. I didn't understand why she was having to go through this. I didn't understand what was going on. I was having flashbacks and of all kinds of things and situations of things that I had been through before. But I will say one of the things that God ultimately let me know was that there were some scriptures in the Bible that I needed to learn them, and I needed to walk them out. And that was one of the things that He told me. The other thing that He told me was, you need to learn how to put your faith with her faith. You need to learn how to increase your faith in what I can do and what I've said. And so I had to literally attach my faith to her faith. Her belief in what she knew God had told her concerning this. What she believed and stood on, the word of God concerning this. And the scriptures that God would give her and gave her concerning all of this. Where the cancer was concerned. Was it a shock? Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Did it blow my mind? Yes, it did. Did it blow hers? Yes, it did. Because you have to get over the initial shock. Because that's not what you're thinking is going to be the end result of the situation with tests. And then it was, well, no, we got to do treatments too. And it's like, oh my God, she's going to be 80 when she starts these treatments. Jesus, what is this? Why? Yet again, standing on the word, standing on God, standing on what He's already said to her, having to put my faith with what she was putting her faith where God was concerned and what He had told her concerning this whole entire situation. So I say all of that to say that I had no idea that when we got on the other side of this, because in December we got on the other side of it. And one of the things I know is that her doctors are still trying to figure it out. And my mama didn't have just any doctors. God made sure, as it was given to me prophetically, that she was going to have the best doctors. My mama had the directors of every field as her doctor. So whatever she needed concerning her cancer, she had the director. Because not only were they the director, they were a professor that taught at the university. So God gave her the best in the field. But not only giving her the best in the field, and He's still giving her the best in the field. And not only doing that, He also made her, and is still making her, a miracle, a sign, and a wonder to the doctors. Because they're trying to figure out, she's 80. How she make it past? How she make it through this? How is she on the other side of this? And they still are trying to figure that out. Although she told them from the beginning, God is first, and then what you say. And she's and she continually and steadily keeps telling them that it's nothing but God. This is God's miracle. This is what God is doing. And God had already begun to let me know He was going to make her a miracle and a sign and a wonder for the doctors, because they are caught up in what they know and their knowledge and their science. But after all of their knowledge and their wisdom and their science, God is the ultimate man that is in control of life and death. And though they were trying to put her in the grave, God did not say that my mother was going in the grave. He was saying that she shall live and not die and declare the works of the Lord. Psalms 118 and 17. That was the word that he was saying. She has to be here to be a miracle, a sign, a wonder, a testimony too. The doctors can tell you one thing, but God is ultimately in control of life, of death, what the medicine will do, what the medicine is not going to do. God is in control of it all. And so I'm saying all that to say that someone came to me and let me know that their mother had cancer. And at that after I did what I needed to do, did the encouragement, did everything that I needed to do, that God wanted me to say. And as I was thinking on it, God let me know. So see, what you just walked through wasn't just for you. It was because someone was coming and you were going to need to be able to minister to them, that I understand where you are. I just walked all of that out. So how could you help them if you had not been through what they're getting ready to go through? If you hadn't been through it already, how are you going to be able to help them? So I'm here to tell you, the things that we go through, they are not just for us. They are for a purpose. They are for another reason. They are designed by God, because there is somebody that you're going to come across, that you're going to have to be a witness to them. I know where you are. I've been there. And if God can get me through it, he can definitely get you through it. If God can heal my mother, he can definitely heal your mother. He's not a respecter of person. What he's done for one, he can certainly and will do for another if that's his will. Someone had been through what I went through, and they were able to help me walk through what I needed to walk through. Why? Because they had already been down that road. They had already been through what I was going through. So they already understood all of it. And so they were able to pray in the different areas and the different things that I was going to go through as I was walking this out with my mother, as I was having to cover her during her treatments. So when we go through, we may not know why we're going through, outside of what God tells us. Sometimes we may not know the full why, is what I'm trying to say. We may not understand it all fully. But by and by, if we just keep on, in a little while, God will make it very plain and relevant why you had to go through what you went through. Because some things that others go through, we can't go through. And things that we go through, others cannot. But God knows who can go through what and how they're going to come out of it on the other side. And who they're going to have to minister to about what they've been through. I didn't ask for it. My mama didn't ask for it. But what I do know, and I certainly believe, God knew that she was going to make it through. And God knew that she was going to have a testimony. God knew that I would make it through and that I would have a testimony. And that I would be able to help somebody else and encourage them and pray for them as they go through. So none of what we go through is just for us. It's always because we're going to have to encourage. We're going to have to pray. We're going to have to minister to somebody else that's going to be going through the exact same thing that we've already walked out. And so that's really all I wanted to say today, was that, it wasn't just for me. That God knew something was coming that I didn't even know was coming. He knew it, but I didn't know it. But he knew yep, this is getting ready to happen. And you're going to have to be able to understand where that person is and what they're going through. And you can only do that if you've already been there and you've been through it. And I brought you out, and I brought her out on the other side. That's a marvelous thing. That's a marvelous thing. That's a marvelous thing when God will allow you to be able to minister and help somebody else because you've been where they are. You've been through that already. I couldn't tell anybody about a single parent and raising a child on their own if I hadn't been through it. I wouldn't be able to tell somebody what it means to have to, or not have to, but be allowed to pick up and move away from everything and everybody that you know with your child and live somewhere else if I hadn't walked it out. I wouldn't know how to help somebody when you've been lied on, still being lied on, still being painted as a bad person, being put out of an office, people trying to fire you, and all other kind of foolishness that's going on. I would not know how to help anybody through that if I hadn't walked through that and been through that on my own. I wouldn't know how to help anybody with the loss of their first child as a miscarriage if I hadn't been through that and walked that out. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't be able to help somebody that has had thoughts of suicide or attempted suicide if I had not done that myself. If I had not had the thoughts and then attempted to take my own life, if I had not walked those things out, how would I be able to tell anybody? How would I be able to even write a book about it? All that I've been through, if I had not been through those things, I wouldn't be able to do that. I wouldn't be able to do it at all. But because I've been through those things, I'm able to help somebody that God brings my way. How can I tell anybody about anxiety and panic attacks if I hadn't lived through that? And if God hadn't delivered me from having anxiety and panic attacks? How would I be able to help anybody and tell them, I know a man from Galilee that can heal you. I know a man that can spare your life. I know a man. I wouldn't be able to do that if I hadn't walked it out. So the things that I have walked out and I have lived, it's because God said, you know what? There's a day, there's a time coming when you're going to have to minister. You're going to have to help somebody. But you can't help them if you haven't been through what they're getting ready to go through. So I know at times we be fussing, we be complaining, Lord, why this, why that? But ultimately, it's for us to be able to be a witness and for God to get the glory out of what he's done in our lives so that we can encourage somebody else, that God can do the same thing for them that he's already done for us. And we only get that by going through tests and trials. Because you can't tell me if you haven't been there. You can't say, I understand, if you haven't been where I'm at. You can't. You can say it, but it doesn't really mean much. But if you've been through what I've been through, and you've made it out, and you know without a shadow of a doubt that God is the one that did that thing, then yeah, you're a witness. And I can say, oh yeah, if she made it, I can make it. If God did it for her, I know he can do it for me. So what we go through is never It is. It is so. It is so that we can minister to somebody else about the very thing that we've been through. All right. That's all I got this morning. I pray that this will encourage somebody. It encourages me to know that nothing that I go through is ever going to be for waste. Nothing that I go through is ever just for me. It is for God's glory and for me to be able to witness and minister and encourage somebody else. All right, you all have a blessed, wonderful day and try to stay dry.